In her inaugural lecture as Humanitas Visiting Professor at the University of Oxford in 2013, Lorraine Daston began by reflecting on the history of ideas as an intellectual preoccupation. Until very recently, and perhaps still, she began, in the corner of the academic map that I come from, to call someone a historian of ideas is tantamount to calling them a tax evader or a cat murderer. In her view, historical scholarship in the previous couple of decades had been characterized by work with the historical microscope, a probing of the local details, the filigree texture of the everyday, the contextual. These revelations, she remarked, had brought enormous benefits. But, she continued, sometimes it's pleasant to combine the work of the microscope with the telescope. That is what the history of ideas does. The telescope, perhaps, will not deliver such a treasure trove of personal and quirky stories, but it can reveal patterns that would be invisible at the pixelated level of the microscope. To change the metaphor from telescopes and microscopes to territories and maps, but with the same ambitions, my aim in what follows is to provide an outline chart of the realm I refer to as the empire of climate. Since ancient times, the idea that the climate exerts a determining influence on minds and bodies, health and well-being, customs and character, war and wealth, has attracted a long line of committed followers. Recent concerns over climate change has stimulated a renewed fascination with the role of climate in shaping human affairs, and a penchant for forecasting the apocalyptic consequences of global warming. Taking the measure of this impulse over the long durée is my quarry here. So, the cartographic figure I have in mind is more like a continental map than a town plan, more like a sketch map than an architect's site drawing. It is intended as an introductory guide to a vast terrain, and for that reason alone, no doubt suffers from the weaknesses of every map-making venture: silences, selectiveness, subjectivity.